happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. You guys can probably already tell that it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely gonna want to check this one out. Guys, after a 2-day long manhunt, the No King's assassin that came after 2 lawmakers and their spouses has finally been apprehended, and it looks like we're that much closer to figuring out who he was working with, guys. I'm excited to get into it, so we're gonna hop straight into it. All I ask that you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, let's hop straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
Where Fox News can now confirm the gunman accused of shooting 2 state lawmakers and their spouses has been arrested. 57-year-old Vance Boelter is accused of assassinating Democratic Minnesota State Representative Melissa Horton and her husband, and severely injuring State Senator John Hoffman and his wife. Hoffman and his wife underwent surgery, and the lawmakers' homes were less than 10 miles apart. Investigators say early yesterday morning, Boelter, dressed like a police officer, came out of Hortman's home and fired at police before escaping. We're also learning police found a list of 70 names, including other lawmakers and abortion providers, in Boelter's car. That car also allegedly looked like a police car. Minnesota's Governor Tim Walz is calling the shooting a, quote, act of targeted violence.
All right, you guys, so this is one that's drawn many questions, a lot of widespread media attention and coverage. Vance Boelter finally being apprehended. You can see the special agents that detained him, some type of cornfield or grassed area, maybe in the forest, and we can see that their identities have been hidden for confidentiality reasons. Vance Boelter, though, I'm still a little bit confused on how he got this far. So this story right here has drawn lots of question, lots of confusion. Originally, I was seeing folks reporting this as Vance Boelter being Donald Trump, a MAGA supporter, but does not make any sense why he would work underneath Tim Walz and his wife as well. Working with Tim Walz, and then on top of that, he was an African refugee resettlement program director. Like, he was in charge of helping folks resettle here from the Congo, moving into Minnesota. So it just doesn't make sense to me. These aren't typical MAGA behaviors or characteristics. And we can see photos of Melissa Hortman and her husband that tragically passed away in that shooting from Vance Boelter. The cowboy hat, just none of it has made sense from start to finish. We're going to hop into all of that. You can see Vance and his wife, who was also stopped by, Minnesota Highway Patrol. She was two hours away from her home, fleeing, and she had passports in the car. She had $50,000 cash, alongside firearms and ammunition. She was on her way up, it looked like, to the Canadian border. By the way of her travel path, she was headed straight up north from Minnesota, and she was just let go. She was not detained. She was not kept in police custody. They just let her go. So this whole situation has just been very bizarre from start to finish. But this whole thing just did not make sense to me, from the hat being left. Guys, I don't know if you guys seen this, left on the side of the road, just very neat and perfect for investigators to find. We got Hustle here saying, well, would you look at that? Vance Boelter's cowboy hat just happens to show up on the side of the road. Are you connecting the dots yet? This is just getting ridiculous at this point. I mean, the whole search for this guy didn't make sense. I was really confused at the part where he got into a full, shootout with the authorities and SWAT teams, and got away on foot like a ninja assassin in the middle of the night. None of this has made sense. You're telling me that these are the same 2 individuals? This man right here just does not, I just don't see it. In the mask versus here, they're saying that he lost at least 100 pounds. I mean, this guy right here looks way more fit than this is Vance Boelter. They're saying earlier in the day before he committed the crimes. And these 2 individuals just don't look the same at all. And of course, I'm no professional investigator, but everyone's saying it. That mask that the Minnesota shooter Vance Boelter was wearing looks like it takes off 100 pounds. Anyone know where I could get one of those? Also, who opens the door for a cop in a mask? Something doesn't smell right about all of this. I mean, it just, I'm glad it's not just me that it's more than fishy. It's something is up. That's all I want to say. Something is definitely up. Saying this is the most athletic 57-year-old that limps off when he was outrunning a SWAT team and FBI and thousands of cops on foot for miles. I mean, look at this video right here. It shows Vance Boelter after said altercation. You can see he has a visible limp. He has a visible limp, and it just doesn't make sense to me how this is the guy who evaded police and law enforcement for 2 days straight without being tracked down, traced, or caught. And we're going to speak about the 5 kids. Either he has 5 children. You were telling me yesterday was Father's Day, and I know my father couldn't go a day, 2 days without talking to me. He calls me almost every single day on the horn. So you're telling me that a father of 5 is just going to abandon his children? I don't know. I refuse to believe it. He said they were just going to abandon the family and run off into the sunset. Boelter has 5 kids and his wife as well. I'm not sure who she was in the car with when she was stopped by law enforcement, but they said it was the wife alongside 3 passengers. So not all the kids were there. If that was the kids that were in the car with Miss Boelter. And this whole situation is just drawing tons of concern and question. We got Vance Boelter dodging all of these bullets at the second residence. You can see when he was confronted by law enforcement agents. This is the door. This is the door right here. I mean, look at this. Looks like something straight out of an action movie or cartoon almost. You can see there is like holes all through this door. It's riddled in bullets. You're telling me this guy, Vance Boelter, we can see he didn't look like he was in the best of shape either. You're telling me that he managed to escape on foot and got away. They're listing him as 220 when he was, booked and arrested, but he doesn't look anything shy of 250, 260 maybe. I refuse to believe that this is the man that got away from over 200 uniformed officers. No, there is no way. There is no way. And then this mask. I mean, you can't tell me this is him inside of this mask right here. What even was this? He shows up in like Walter White fashion from Breaking Bad. Like what? There's so many like pieces and dots that need to be connected, filled in for me. I just don't understand who put him up to this first and foremost, or who he was working with. That's one that I would really love to know, because there is no way that he pulled all this off alone and got away. He had a second car that he was caught in. And you can see now he has been booked into the Hennepin County Jail. This is his mugshot. First look here. I'm baffled by the whole, from start to finish. It doesn't make sense to me how he, not only committed all these crimes, but then he escaped into the middle of the night like a ninja assassin. No scratches, no scrapes. This guy was untouched, unharmed. Absolutely nutty. All right, we got one from the New York Post on Minnesota suspected assassin Vance Boelter's capture. Let's check out. Let's do a little bit of reading. Check out what they had to say about old Vance. It says, after a 2-day manhunt and 2 sleepless nights, law enforcement have finally apprehended Vance Boelter. It says the armed accused killer was taken into custody without incident in a rural wooded area, Sibley County, southwest of Minneapolis, after authorities received a tip about a possible sighting hours earlier. Officers from multiple agencies, including SWAT teams, combed the area for hours and were assisted by helicopters using infrared cameras and drones. It was a resident's trail cameras that he passed in a rural town that tripped him up. Most of the search had actually concluded by then, but the trail cam picture alerted SWAT teams to go to that area, search a perimeter, and then with the help of drones, identify his location. Boelter's capture ended the largest manhunt in state history, which lasted around 43 hours, involving at least 200 officers, and utilized a federal, state, and local partnership. He was ultimately arrested in a field where he crawled to the arresting officers and was taken into custody without any use of force. And that was one that really surprised me as well. Like, you're telling me this guy did all of that just to be taken into custody, crawling around and no fight whatsoever. I just didn't see that one coming either. With Vance being such an active, action-packed movie, villain is what it looked like. He didn't think he was going to go down like this. We got Colin Rugg tweeting out saying it as well, saying at one point he was tucked in a fetal position and then began to army crawl until he eventually stood up and surrendered. Okay. I just, you're telling me this guy, after doing all of that, went and he was crawling around to surrender? I'm just finding this a little bit hard to believe. And you can see SWAT teams surrounding the area where they suspected Vince may have been hiding. We got Maggie Kitty here tweeting out saying Minnesota suspect Vance Boelter was apprehended alive in Sibley County. Tracked into the woods, he surrendered with hands raised after a drone located him in a field and tactical officers closed in. I'm shocked they actually captured him alive. Yeah, me as well. I'm gonna be honest, me as well. Because this guy just didn't seem like he was going to be one that was going to go down without a fight. I mean, he just did it. You're telling me this guy tried to take out two lawmakers and their spouses, actually confronted by law enforcement agents and officers, and then has a full-blown shootout. And the next thing you know, he's getting away, running for miles on foot, ditches his car, manages to get away from them. And then he gets caught and he doesn't put up a fight whatsoever. I just didn't believe I was going to see that either. This is absolutely insane. And we got more photos here. This is another, looks like a second image of Vance Boelter. And we can see here, he definitely, that's the same guy. This is Vance Boelter. I just don't know if it's the same guy from that mask. And then here's one that's really been, the pizza delivery guy, Papa John's man. Vance Boelter said a roommate. It's like a whole college dorm situation where he was living with a roommate. The roommate saying that he wasn't a Democrat. He didn't like Tim Walz. He didn't like Joe Biden. Okay, and he listened to InfoWars often. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can believe this. For one, he literally was hired and appointed by Tim Walz alongside his wife working with Tim Walz as well. So for him not to be a supporter of Tim Walz that doesn't make sense to me. And then on top of that, he was working for an African refugee program that resettled Africans from the Congo in Minnesota, which definitely is not behavior of MAGA Republicans. I can tell you that right now. So I'm not buying this either. And this guy just does not look like the most trustworthy source. I mean, I'm sorry to judge from appearance, but he just doesn't look like he is one that is going to be upfront and honest. Investigate him as well. I just refuse to believe that he had no knowledge or information on what Vance Boelter was, planning on carrying out and ultimately did carry out. I think this guy knows more than what he's letting us on to believe. And I'm going to leave it there on that guy because there is no way. It's like just off the text, he had some very fishy texts that he said he received from Vance Boelter as well that did not make sense. This whole situation just leaves me confused, questioning everything, and I don't think Vince acted alone and planning and orchestrating these heinous crimes. Statewide search for this guy who supposed to be 250, and you would have thought he was like ex CIA, ex freaking armed forces or something, special secret service. The way they're describing this guy and the interaction they had, this couldn't have been Vance Boelter. I mean, look at this guy. This does not look like Vance Boelter whatsoever. Even in the mask, I know folks are going to be like, well, he's wearing a mask, you can't really tell, and then the gear. But the gear doesn't add any weight. This guy looks like he's slimmed down so much. Like, this is him? I'm just looking at the belly and stuff. Like, is this really him? I don't know, you guys. I really don't know. And we got the actual apprehension. You can see where they caught him. It looks like the field. the wooded area where he was hiding at. This whole situation, I'm lost for words, guys. I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. I know you guys got tons of information. You guys are always being very helpful in the comment section. I'm always popping in and out to see what's going on there, any new updates that come, but something's a little fishy in this one. Associate of Tim Walz, him and his wife, Vance Boelter, has finally been taken into custody. I'm gonna leave it there. Yo, there we have it, guys. Oh my goodness. Vance Boelter, the No King's assassin, has finally been caught, captured, and taken into custody. This is one story that has blown my mind from start to finish. Hopefully there's more investigation into, maybe he was connected, working in with a group, an organization, or who put him up to this, because there is no way there are not more people that are going to be implicated within these crimes. And you already know, as more information and news develops, I'll definitely cover it right here with your boy RetroStef. And if you guys know anything extra that maybe I left out or that I got wrong, definitely let me know in the comment section below. Comments are open. I'm always excited to hear what you guys are thinking. Your thoughts and your information helps. It goes a long way. Also, make sure you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next one.